Hey everybody, we are breaking in live. A little early, not too early. I was actually still getting ready for the show, but this is a little more pressing. My shirt could have used maybe a little more time in the dryer, as maybe you could tell. Let me share this onto my personal. Hey everybody, you guys know the drill. Let me share it onto my personal Facebook. I have something I want to show you guys. I think this is huge. This is huge right here. All right. So I want to, obviously, I want to get some people in here. Donald Trump called out the horrible stimulus deal, and I think this is something people need to hear because I was very, very surprised. So here we go.
Democrats cruelly blocked COVID relief legislation in an effort to advance their extreme left-wing agenda and influence the election.
Just keep listening, it gets better.
Then, a few months ago, Congress started negotiations on a new package to get urgently needed help to the American people. It's taken forever. However, the bill they are now planning to send back to my desk is much different than anticipated. It really is a disgrace. For example, among the more than 5,000 pages in this bill, which nobody in Congress has read because of its length and complexity, it's called the COVID Relief Bill, but it has almost nothing to do with COVID. This bill contains $85.5 million for assistance to Cambodia, $134 million to Burma, $1.3 billion for Egypt and the Egyptian military, which will go out and buy almost exclusively Russian military equipment. $25 million for democracy and gender programs in Pakistan. $505 million to Belize, Costa Rica, El Salvador, Guatemala, Honduras, Nicaragua, and Panama. $40 million for the Kennedy Center in Washington, D.C., which is not even open for business. $1 billion for the Smithsonian, and an additional $154 million for the National Gallery of Art. Likewise, these facilities are essentially not open. $7 million for reef fish management, $25 million to combat Asian carp, $2.5 million to count the number of amberjack fish in the Gulf of Mexico, a provision to promote the breeding of fish in federal hatcheries.
He's speaking truth here, guys. He's calling out the stimulus bill. I was so caught off guard by this. We're going to keep listening to this whole thing.
The impact of down trees. $566 million for construction projects at the FBI. The bill also allows stimulus checks for the family members of illegal aliens, allowing them to get up to $1,800 each. This is far more than the Americans are given. Despite all of this wasteful spending and much more, the $900 billion package provides hardworking taxpayers with only $600 each in relief payments. And not enough money is given to small businesses, and in particular restaurants.
Where was this Trump the past 2 years? We got a little bit of this of him his first term, his first year. Where has this been?
For others to use in business their restaurant for 2 years. This 2-year period must be withdrawn, which will allow the owners to obtain financing and get their restaurants back in condition. Congress can terminate it at a much later date, but 2 years is not acceptable. It's not enough. Congress found plenty of money for foreign countries, lobbyists, and special interests, while sending the bare minimum to the American people who need it. It wasn't their fault. It was China's fault, not their fault. I am asking Congress to amend this bill and increase the ridiculously low $600 to $2,000.
$2,000. He wants an increase of $1,400.
I'm also asking Congress to immediately get rid of the wasteful and unnecessary items from this legislation and to send me a suitable bill, or else the next administration will have to deliver a COVID relief package, and maybe that administration will be me.
Yo, where was that Donald Trump the past 2 years? We got a little bit of it this first year. Where has this Donald Trump been? Good for him calling out Congress, finally stepping up to the plate. Finally. This is the first time this whole COVID situation, I feel Donald Trump has looked presidential. Let me say that. The first time this whole COVID situation, Donald Trump has stood up there at the podium and said words, and it sounded presidential. So props where props are due. Good for you, Mr. Trump. President Trump, I'm sorry. Good for you. Exactly. He gets it. So how do these people in Congress not get it? If Donald Trump understands that all this wasteful money, all this money is being wasted, yeah, exactly. Give more money to the person. Why are we giving money to all these separate countries, all these different programs? I know. I don't agree with everything Donald Trump said, and I get it. Donald Trump still sprinkles crazy. He's still Donald Trump. He's still going to sprinkle crazy things in there when he talks. But you know what? That's the first time I feel like he has said anything presidential. This whole COVID relief, calling those Congress people out. The first time he said anything presidential. So good for him. I don't agree with everything he said. You're right. Maybe the next administration will be me. They won't. But hey, you know what, Donald Trump? Good for you for sticking up for the American people here. Good for you. Seriously. If Donald Trump wants if he wanted better coverage from people and he wanted to be seen in a better light, he should have been like this his whole presidency. This is what America actually needed. Needs someone that sticks up and stands up there and says, look, no, give money to the people. Screw the corporations. Screw the special interests. Screw your FBI construction projects and sending money overseas. Give money to the people. He is completely right there. So good for Donald Trump. I know there's a lot of people who aren't going to want to give credit where credit is due. That's okay. I understand why people don't like Trump. I don't like Trump. But he's finally said something, and he's finally stuck up and said something I really agree with. I agree he needed to say this long ago. I think it's because he's on his way out. Possibly. Possibly. You know as well as I know, politics in this country is a game. It's very much a game. And they're all about keeping their power. They don't care about us. At the end of the day, they don't care about us over there in Washington. They care about their paychecks. Right? But again, that Donald Trump pardoned Chris Collins, and I don't like that. So he does something I like. He does two things I don't like. This is kind of the tale of his presidency. He does something I like. He does one or two things I don't like. 2-3 things I don't like. Maybe he is. Maybe he is, Chris. Maybe he is. Look, maybe that's what he's trying to do. But either way, Donald Trump went up there and told Congress they aren't doing their job, and I think that is a beautiful thing. Because even if people don't like him, he's still president of the United States. So for him to go up there and tell Congress they're not doing enough to help the American people is huge. And maybe, just maybe, this will help moving forward. Seriously, guys, because there's a lot of money wasted. That's what we're going to talk about tonight. That is what I wanted to talk about, was all the money in this bill that was wasted. Because there is a lot of money in this bill wasted. There is a Dalai Lama clause in this bill that talks... It's insanity. This whole bill, and they didn't have enough time to read this bill. All the people that voted for that bill, they didn't read it entirely. Listen, I'm 1,600 pages into the bill. I've been reading it since like 3 o'clock. And granted, I've been doing a couple other things here and there, but still, it's a long, wordy bill. And guys, and maybe they're smarter than me, but either way, good for him. I'm going to end it there. I wanted to break in and talk about this. I think this is huge. Thank you to the person who sent that video to me. I always appreciate when you guys send me stuff. I love you guys. Maybe I'll see you later, but probably tomorrow, maybe tomorrow afternoon. My throat's a little sore. I was yelling a little bit. But I want to keep it short enough